Hello YouTube. Hello, and we're back. Of course we are. And today we're going to talk about characters that will reward you the most. This is just an idea that I had, and I'm like, yeah, let's talk about this. Obviously this is gonna be an opinion, my opinion. So yeah, let's start. So number 3. Actually, before I start, I just want to explain. What I mean by skill is player skill, and then general character skill, and also Tekken skill. So all around, right? Technical ability is also counted. So number 3, let's just start. The third character, top 3 character, I think is Jin. Jin rewards you a lot by knowing how the game works, knowing how the character works, and having a lot of technical skill. An example of this is obviously an electric, right? Electrics are always those kind of buttons that are very strong, but it will require you to practice it for you to be able to use it well, and no matter how good you are with an electric, by the way, you will misinput it. You will mess this up with a down forward 2 or a down 2. It happens to everyone, even pro players. Right? Very, very important to realize this, that this is a very strong button and it will reward you, but you will misinput with down 2s and down forward 2s no matter how good you are. It's just how it is. Just one example, but this is not the main reason. The main reason is this move right here. This one. So the parry. The parry, in my opinion, has unlimited potential when it comes to having the correct reads, and also has unlimited reward as well. Let me just give you guys a demonstration of why I think Jin is top 3 character because of this parry. A demonstration. So Nina has this little flowchart right here that I'm gonna do. This into this, right? That flowchart. After down back 3, this is a frame trap. I can't really press anything. Even a down jab gets traded, right? You can't really press anything. One thing you can do, or you can try, is sidestep it. Usually you would try to sidestep it, right? But let me just try to sidestep it. Right? Here it worked because of long range, but the moment you're a little bit closer, this becomes unsteppable. So how this works is long range, when you're very, very long, you can actually sidestep this. But if you're a little bit close range, this becomes a triangle. Just even a little bit. Right? You just can't sidestep it, you cannot sidewalk it. It's very, very hard in a certain distance. And this basically becomes impossible to avoid. That right there. And this is something that a lot of Nina players will abuse. Like for example, there, I couldn't sidestep it, right? Same, cannot step it. And the Nina players abuse this a lot because this is an interaction that you can't do nothing about. You actually can't do anything about this because this is a frame trap. Right? This is a frame trap, and you can't power crush here because you're forced to crouch. One thing you can do is a heat burst. You can do it. And you can't really tell if the angle is correct for you to sidestep. Let's say you're in a real match. Can you tell that the angle is correct or the range is correct for you to sidestep it? So most people don't even risk the sidestep. Because if you do, you're gonna get hit. So this is the main reason this is such a good flowchart, and the characters, most characters, can't do anything about this unless you power crush through it with a heat burst. Now, Jin on the other hand, not only him, but what Jin can do is read this fully and launch it. Now, no other character can do something like this. Leroy can also parry this. Other characters might also be able to parry this, but I don't think anyone else gets as high a reward on their parry reads as Jin does. So this rewards you as the player, knowing that, oh, parry will work here. I know this 2-hit streak is gonna come, and I know I can launch them. So the moment you do something like this, let's say, or electric after it as a punish, this combines 2 technical skills, a lot of player skill, and a lot of player knowledge for you to get rewarded with a launcher in this otherwise unbeatable situation. But otherwise, this situation is unbeatable. If I played Kaz, I can't do anything about this. Basically, I can't do anything about it, right? What you can also do is parry this hit. The second hit. This is also parryable. You don't need to parry both, right? This is also something. But the parries, the reward you get from those kind of parries are low compared to Jin. As I said, this is a full-on launcher. Kazuya's parry would be something like, I don't know, 20 damage with a knockdown. Now this is a full-on launcher that can go up to 100 damage with a wall. This is the main reason Jin is in the top 3. Now, let's talk about the top 2, the next character. The second character, in my opinion, obviously, as I said, it's just my opinion, is Bryan. Now, Bryan is a character that everyone knows is very, very strong, but this is also a character that's not that easy to use. He is difficult, but he gets rewarded very, very much so, actually, by doing the correct things. Having the correct timing reads, for example, is a player skill, while also player knowledge that gets rewarded with the counter hit buttons like forward 3, 3+4, even back 1. It's these kind of moves, right? Forward 3 being like the button, or even QCB 1. Obviously, these are very strong buttons, but some timing reads are still needed and will reward you well. But the main reason he is top 2, main reason, is not this. This is also hard, obviously, and the character is difficult. Because another technical skill is backdashing correctly, because you can't really sway. You can't sway like this. But the main reason is this right here, taunt. Now, taunt is one of the most rewarding skills you can kind of master in all of Tekken 8. One of them, right? Because this basically gives you a free hit. Basically, this into, let's say, a back 4 at the wall is guaranteed. I am messing it up right now, right? There we go. So all of this can be guaranteed into whatever combo. This should be like 70 something damage or maybe 80 damage if I do the correct one. And all of that is guaranteed if you do the taunt correctly. But you don't need to do the taunt correctly. You can also do something like this. Have +7 while having 30 damage, which is very easy to do, right? Well, it's still something you need to practice and to master. The peak of this is doing a taunt into a jet upper, which I can't do, by the way. I don't play this character, right? But this is also something that is guaranteed if you do it correctly. Not only this, but you can also do something like a taunt forward 2, which you see a lot. Someone like Lowhigh does this a lot because this is a little bit easier version to do, right? So all of this is very, very strong and rewards player skill a ton. A ton. This is technical skill most of the time, but it's not just technical skill, because the skill is knowing when to use it. For example, a lot of Bryan players end their combos with this, then taunt here, right? Then they taunt there, and then try to mix them up. This is also a sort of skill. And this gets rewarded by a lot if you do it correctly. While the risk is also not that high either. But I'm not talking about the risk here, I'm talking about the reward. The reward is pretty damn high. There you go, that's Bryan. Main reason why he's top 2, taunt. Now, top 1 character. Obviously I'm biased here, but I think it's Kazuya. By the way, these top 3 characters are really close. Really, really close when it comes to reward. But why do I think it's Kaz? The reason why I think it's Kaz, by the way, one thing I had to mention is that all of the Mishimas can count here as well. All of the Mishimas are pretty high in demand when it comes to skill and get rewarded for the skill a lot as well. I just chose Kaz because I think he is the best representation of this, personally, for me. Anyway, but yeah, why do I think it's Kaz? The best character to reward player skill if you do everything correctly, obviously, which is very difficult to do, very difficult. One is electrics. I already mentioned this when it comes to Jin as well, but unlike Jin, Jin is not reliant on electrics. Kazuya is very reliant on electrics, because this is the only launcher he has from standing position when you want to punish with it. So you get rewarded with this electric if you punish with -15, 14, or even sometimes 13. And the other Mishimas can do the same thing as well, but he was the one who was able to do this first. Everyone basically copied him, that's why I chose him. But one of the ways is literally that. You can punish -13 moves with electrics if you are good enough. So anything like a hop kick, you can electric, and it's gonna be a launcher as a punish. -14, launcher. 15, also a launcher if you are good enough. That's one reason, the electric, right? But that's not the only one. The other thing is, Kazuya is a character that rewards spacing and movement, one of the most in the whole game. One of the most, right? Because this is very important for you to understand when you want to play the character, that you space well, move well, and whiff punish well, with obviously electrics, which I already mentioned are very, very difficult. And in the Jin section, I also mentioned that no matter how good you are at electrics, you will misinput them. You'll get it down forward 2. You'll get it down 2. Hell, I've even seen, and I've done it myself, someone got up forward 2. Sometimes, right? You will get a lot of misinputs. But this is just the nature of the move. It's very strong, but you will 100% misinput it at least once. At least once you will misinput it, no matter how good you are. So, this is one, the electric. Right? The other thing, obviously, is the perfect electric of down forward 2. So after down forward 2, there is a perfect electric here. And this perfect electric does a lot of damage. This rewards player skill a lot. right? This will deal 100 damage. I messed up the hair. 104 damage, that's how it's gonna be. With wall carry, which will go up to 120 something, which is a lot of damage. It is a lot of damage, and you get rewarded very, very highly on the correct counter hit read on a down forward 2. So the moment you do a down forward 2, you can do an electric, and then you will get the perfect electric launch here, right? Something like this. You can also do multiple electric combos to higher your damage. So second was the perfect electric after down forward 2, but not only the perfect electric, because at the wall you also get very high reward on your correct read without much execution. But this is also good, but the perfect electric is the main reason. The next one is the combos that you can do can increase by a lot when it comes to damage if you do a lot of electrics. And I already mentioned electrics are very difficult. Example, if you do something like a 3 electric combo, which I dropped there, you will get a higher damage than normal. There you go, something like this, right? While you will also get to the wall with 83 damage. So this is really good. If you want like the pinnacle of very difficult combos, you can even do 4 electric combos. 4 electric combos are, I'm surprised I did it, are super difficult, right? Super difficult. If that hit, which is very difficult to do, it would be like 90 damage, 90-ish damage, right? So all of this just combines the character with a lot of technical skill via movement, via electric, but not only just electrics, because he's reliant on electrics compared to literally everyone else with an electric. Let's say Jin has a lot of tools, he's not reliant on electric. Same as Devil Jin. Devil Jin is the closest to Kazuya when it comes to electric reliability. Actually, no, Heihachi is. But yeah, Heihachi is kind of reliant as well, but not as much. He has a lot of mid and a lot of tools and a lot of punishers. Then Devil Jin also, same, a lot of tools when it comes to that. Also has a can. But Kaz, on the other hand, is very reliant on this move, and he has to practice this a lot. He has to know how to use it. Can't be too predictable with it. Has to use it in combos. Has to know when it doesn't drop or when it drops or whatever. Increases his combo damage by using it correctly. Increases his combo damage by a ton if you perfect electrics from down forward 2, like something like this, right? Which, as I said, I'm bad, so I can't do it. But yeah, this, for example, will deal a lot of damage. And this will reward you a lot. And down forward 2 in general is a very rewarding move. Electrics are very rewarding. When it comes to punishment, you also get rewarded a lot, because as I already mentioned, electrics can be can punish things that are 13, 14, or 15 if you're good enough. The next thing also is Twin Pistons, which I didn't really mention, but when it comes to punishment, it just rewards you a lot. If you know something about 13, this is just an easy reward. It's not a lot of skill, but there is some knowledge with this, right? But as I said, this is my personal opinion. I'm a bit biased when it comes to Kaz. So these 3, for me at least, can be interchangeable. Like Jin's parry has infinite potential. Same as Bryan's taunt has infinite potential. And Kaz just gets rewarded a lot in most of his buttons because how electrics work in general. And since he was the one who has the 13 frame electric first, now other Mishimas have it as well. That's why I chose him as a demonstration. But other Mishimas can work heal as well, to be fair. But yeah, everyone, YouTube, big thanks for watching. Big thank you, and I'll see everyone in the next one. Till then.